Yeah, I'm my own inspiration. It all depends, man. You know, I belong to so many, I subscribe to so many channels on a lot of people. Some professors, some motivational speakers, some just about everyday life that goes on, but mostly it's the statement. Right? So there are those people who, there's like, for example, Dr. Umar Johnson. I share his views as well. Right?
What does he do?
I guess you go read up, find out what he's about. It's actually a guy with, is it 4 degrees? He's a PhD in psychology. Are you recording already? Oh, okay. Find out about Dr. Umar Johnson. There's so many.
Write it down.
It's like inspiration is like energy, man.
Yeah.
Positive energy bounces off from different places, people, and situations. So you can't really have that one person.
Yeah.
You can say this is my. You take the best you can from different things. That's why your community is actually the one that moves you. You learn from the society. Anyway, nice morning, guys, and welcome to, I think it's going to be our last series now on this particular Binomial Theorem. We're going to finish with this. We'll see how far we go. As I said, I don't want to rush, but you have an idea generally now. Let's do quickly what I call essential revision before we start with the stuff that yeah, it's always nice to see if you can recall the work that we looked at yesterday. So I'm going to give you one question.
Yes.
Find a term independent of.
It's too easy. Yeah, like you.
Independent of x. This is very similar to the question that I think you are asking.
Yes.
Raised to the power 9. There's just something very interesting that I want to show you when we are doing the Ncr formula. Okay? So, generally, we are looking for the term. And the moment you're looking for the term, you know that we have the general formula.
General.
When we look for that, which is a n minus r v to the r. You might find other people using different letters, a k or whatever, but the bottom line is that is a general term, right?
General.
So we're looking for the term there, but we don't have our r. So the objective is to find our r. Is it not so? So you will start NCR, but we know what N is. I can just go ahead and write it in there. Doesn't really matter. Okay?
Yes.
And then I have, this will recall what you're doing. This is your A, that's your B. That's your A, that's your B. So A is the one that you're going to subtract that. So x squared would be 9 minus r, and then 1 over x is going to be the r. Okay. And we also know that when we are told something is independent of x, this is where x will be equal to 0. Isn't that so? Right. Then I'm just going to take something a little bit different here because I said it's the others ignore the constants. Let's have NCR. This one is fine. This one is going to be x 2r plus. It's minus 2r actually. No? So let's have it as 18 minus 2r. And then I have 1 to the r and x raised to the negative r. Are you understanding what I'm doing here?
Yes, sir.
I took out that 1, right? So if there was like a 2, I would be putting out also. Just say. So I guess that this is not going to assist me, the 9CR, to find what I'm looking for, because there's no, you don't find any variable x in here, x to the 0 power, okay? Although, ultimately we're calculating a constant. There's nothing much you can do with this one here and with that one. So this is now maybe where you now on the side start doing something. So on the side, so from, leave this here, and then on the side you then take, you say, x raised to the 18 minus 2r times x raised to the negative r equals to x to the 0. Now you can drop those bases, so here, when you multiply, you add the indices. So that gives you 18 minus 3r equals to 0. So you have negative 3r equals to?
R equals to 6.
So r equals to 6 if you divide
Standard procedure.
throughout by negative 3.
Yes.
Now you know what your value of r is. So now you bring it back. You can bring it back here. Alright? But you must be a bit careful, because if you made a mistake, let's suppose you made a mistake anywhere here, right? Bringing this thing down will be a bit tricky. So, but you can put it back in here now.
Yeah.
So that means now, when I have t is 6 plus 1,
Yes.
what thing am I actually looking for? 7. Alright? So I'm going to have 9c, r is 6,
Yes.
then x is 18 minus 2 times 6. That already makes that simple.
Yeah, that's already.
That's 12, right? That's going to be 18 minus 12, right? So it'll be 8x to the 6th power. So I expect that to be x to the negative 6th power. So this is going to be 6, and then you have got x raised to the power of negative 6. Anyway, there is just 1, so there's no need for me to write that down. But when you look here, you're going to have 9c6 x to the 0, x to the power 6.
I see.
That's what this gives you.
Mine is
Then you have times x to the power negative 6, which is basically the same as
which is 6 minus
1 over x to the power 6. That is what this is
6
giving you.
minus 6.
Okay. So basically this is going to be gone.
Yeah.
So what we're looking for is 9c6. Now, I want to show you something there. Alright? Let's start with the calculator. Let's not use the calculator.
See what it is.
Alright? So 9c6 becomes 9 factorial over, let me use the, where I subtracted, 9 minus 6 factorial times 6 factorial. Okay? Right. Now, I'm just going to leave it first on top as 9 factorial. So I'm going to do this first. So that gives you 3 factorial, 6 factorial. Now just look what I'm doing now. I'm going to continue here. 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. I don't have to continue because there is 6 factorial here which I can then go and cancel.
Yeah.
Do you follow? This is what I wanted to show you. So you have got 3 factorial, 6 factorial. So go ahead and cancel those
6 factorial.
yes, 6 factorial. So when you cancel this, because remember that is just 6 times 5 times 4, which is what the other one would be. So you can stop there. You understand? Then it makes your work a little bit easy. So basically now you have got 9 times 8 times 7 over 3 times 2 times 1. 3 goes here, 3 times, 2 goes here, 4 times. 3 times 2 is 12, 12 times 7 is 84.
Yeah, 100%.
You see? Of course, you would have already, here you could use your calculator and already have the answer. And I wanted to show you that particular part. No? This part is quite.
That's what I got here.
At the same time, go to page 83. Was NC3 Let's use the example that you are given there. Alright. So if you are dealing with that, so I guess we have this answer, right?
Yes, sir.
We are finding this answer. So we know that this answer is nothing but 84. Okay. I'm just gonna take that off. Create more space. So I'm going to use the same concept here. The same concept apply. Because what the number on top means, it's n factorial over n minus 3 factorial times 3 factorial. This is why sometimes I like to write it as sometimes, but it's totally up to you. 3 factorial and then n minus 3 factorial. Because you're going to see something very interesting there. So what you have on top actually is the same as n times n minus 1 times n minus 2 times n minus 3, but it goes on and on and on, right? But you know already where you're supposed to add it, because look at what you have under n minus 3 factorial.
Sure.
So obviously those will definitely do what? The same thing what I did there, like the 6 factorial, 6 factorial. So those, the n minus 3, whatever do you. Factorial will cancel, right? So you have what? 3 factorial, then you have n minus 3 factorial. That then cancels the same like what I did with the 6 factorial. Can you see that? So basically what is left is what you're going to write down. So you have what? N times n minus 1 times n minus 2 all over 3 times 2 times 1, which is going to be that stuff over 6. Is that fine? You get it? That's valid. Now,
Please don't multiply.
I should not multiply. Please remember, don't multiply. Okay, it's not what we're looking for. So then I was saying you must do this one here. Hold on here. Come. So red. Realize, let me jump in when I can find those easy ones. Both things are becoming true. That is good.
It's easy.
You see how helpful it is. And it makes you understand what it
Instead of
is.
writing the whole thing.
Exactly. Instead of writing the whole thing, you can get to those answers. Don't be afraid of also, using them. Although you can find an answer to different using them. So let's use that same. Also, what he's doing is fine. I'll give you this. To do C, I think in page 83. Is it the one 8, C5? 8 choose 5? Yeah, because we have to go all the way up to find it. So that's where you start something. What happened to the box of chalk that we use? I said, did you steal the box of chalk yesterday? Man? Huh? What's wrong with it? But you don't eat chalk. We don't know. You don't know. In your hostel, like anything is possible. He said, Mr. Bester did not feed you this morning. Gave you a lot of Easter eggs. Interesting. Mr. Bread is forcing with the issue there in the problem. Give you one extra one for this time. In fact, we have just a different way of asking questions. Then we can go to past policies.
Maybe the number 2.
Right.
What is example 20?
Okay. So what is that number? You don't have to rewrite everything. You just take this over. That's all. 5 times 4. Double 20. 20 more. Right. It's 40. 40 times 3. Good. The right ones. Easy. Okay, that's another place. Okay, that's good. I actually want you to do one more for me. Don't worry. What was that C? It was 8 C5. Using, you remember what I was giving you? Standard.
This one's easy.
Yeah, I know. It's good to then get it off your system. Right? Remember I said it's essential to read, trying to get to see if you were able to do stuff like that. You will be surprised how easy it is to forget something that you have done already, like a day or 2 days ago.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Memory pleasure.
8 factorial. No. Just write 8 factorial. Okay. You see, what I did is I wrote my factorial and then I first did that difference. Then I know how far I should go with that.
How far do you want to
8 minus 5. He was using his fingers to cover it. So now when you do the 8 factorial on top, you will end with. Yeah? You will end with 8 times 7 times where will you end? There you go. You see that? Then you just get some 5 factorials. Actually, yeah, it's okay.
That's all. Slash.
Three factorial as well.
Slash 6.
Okay. 3 goes in 6 how many times? 2 goes in 2 how many times?
Once.
Okay, cancel that 2 with the other 2 also. What are you left with? No. Who's the 8 times 7? What are you? Really? 8 is level 3 fingers there. Ah, he says 56, at least he got it, no? There you go. See, that's not easy. How fine? Okay. Just let me bring your attention back to this. We did this and then I ended somewhere here. Right? So this part, we call it, we can call it the generic part of the formula. That's up to there where you go, then you do your side work, then you take your excess. So you see what I did is I pull out the constants. So what we give you one where there's more constants that you pull out, right? Then we get it to the generic part, and we do it on the side, whatever the term is that I'm giving you, right? And then we bring it back there. But the question is going to be slightly different. Here, find the term independent of x. So you know that x should be to the power 0. So this is going to be a little bit slightly different, but more or less the same type of working. Determine
already.
Yeah. Which term contains 1 over x to the 6th power in the binomial expansion
I see.
2 upon x cubed
I see what you're doing.
plus 3x squared
Three.
raised to the 7th power.
It's a three there. I can see it.
Volunteer? Come, let's practice there and then you have to let's work here.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I think. Coming to be written, same type of condition, right? You can identify your A, you can identify your B. Yeah. So you also need to find your R, and then when you find the R, we have to put something specific.
One less. One less.
Go on. I want to see you working until we can scrutinize your mistakes. That's the problem with these oros. Yeah, it gives you those things there in the throat. Like a hospitalizer I used to eat by now. It's oros. You can know what oros when you make it. I keep saying. His hand is in the pocket. He's trying to show off. Now, by the way, this is a question typically you're not using a calculator, so don't use a calculator.
This one.
Yeah.
So when I just
Right.
what to do.
Are you ready for me?
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
I can finish this question. It's the basic.
Yeah, it says about these spaces. Let's see. So what happened? Oh, okay, you're using your axis. What are you doing right now? You do about this. Okay, let's let him work, right? And come back and criticize it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you should see M's face, there's no what he's doing, so he's probably not doing exactly what you're doing, right? So which means either he's right, you're wrong, or you are right and he's wrong. But believe in your ability. So continue what you were doing, and let's ignore what he's doing for now, right? Because it's kind of on a roll, and I don't know whether it's the right roll. You say the R, okay. You had the R again. But I kicked him again because the last time I kicked him was because it was making capital R, remember? It's 4. What is 21 minus 1? And 20 minus divided by 5. You think that is correct?
It's good.
Okay, go on.
I'm getting to that.
What?
15. You want me to take the shortcut?
Do you? Really, interesting how we worked it out, but it's weird at the same place. But let me ask you something. Okay, I'll let you continue. I agree with everything we have done so far, but I want to see what you're doing right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Go on.
Sister. Thank you. Get there. I'm just taking this.
You guys come assist you.
I'm just taking it. I'm just taking it.
Yeah. 7 minus what? 3.
5 times.
7 minus 3.
4.
What does it do? What is that number? What does a 5?
3.
What does a 3? Okay.
Go.
Oh, okay. No, it's not.
27. 7. 6.
Okay. Clean it up.
Okay. Get the idea. So you get the idea.
Oh, wait, excuse me. Are you talking to us?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. You must give me that power. Yeah. Can I just write it?
Yeah,
Huh?
I exclusive.
Yeah. Or I could say.
It's okay, you can leave it there. Well, we don't like to give our answers with negative indices, right? I
we
suggest that
we get
maybe you
the-
just say 1 over x to the power 6. But this is not necessary. This is maybe just his way of checking his answer.
Yeah.
The question is asking, you see when he was here, he was saying like this.
I was
The question is
checking-
asking,
I was checking.
which term?
I was checking.
What are you supposed to do? Now you have your R.
Yeah.
We're not interested in that because we already know that some term
Mm.
will have x, 1 over x to the power 6
But I was doing first.
as a variable in it. Okay? So I'm not asking you to find the term. You understand what I'm saying? The previous question said, what does the previous question say? The one I gave you here? I gave you 2 questions here. Find the term. Right. Which term? Find the term and which term is practically the same thing. Right? But which term will have this variable in front? Good. How do you find that answer? Good. Now write it there nicely. So there's no need for that. Come back here. Which term? So it will be, you find R and then you go to your general formula. Becomes 3 sub R plus 1. Therefore, Exactly, I know. That is why she was like wondering what the hell are you doing?
I saw it was just in my mind. Thinking.
Yeah, she's supposed to say ah, it's going to say ah.
You didn't hear that? You're supposed to say what?
It's just supposed to say ah. I was going to say ah.
I was just in my mind.
What were you doing? I was just in my mind. Okay.
Now I can say. Nothing to fear. Still mocking. I like the way that's a bit.
What are you saying?
I like the way that's a bit. I almost did it.
You almost did what?
The ballets. Almost spilled.
I think now you are copying it.
My success.
I want to write down what I've done step by step so you can understand, right? Yeah. So there's no problem in copying harassment. But you must compare, right? Whatever he wrote
Should be the same.
are you still copying as part of this? Now I took the expansion off. Okay, what was the expansion? It was 2 upon x cubed plus 3x squared. Don't be afraid, even if you say over, it's the same thing, okay? Right, so this becomes
7 shoes.
yeah. Is it really necessary for me to write out 7 choose?
No, because we're not interested in that.
We're not interested in
We
that.
want to find out.
Okay.
So it's already there, sir. Already there.
What are you saying?
It's already
I can't hear what are you saying?
It's already there.
What is already there? On the board?
No, my.
Here. Okay. I'm gonna write it down anyway. Just this is not really necessary here, but we're gonna have to decipher why not. Okay. We have to- Okay, so our A is going to be what? This is our A. That's our B, right? Okay. So we take all of this,
It's not even.
and then 7 minus R, and then our B is the 3x squared, which is going to be R. So just like this,